Hi YouTube, it's Smoky 7887, about to enjoy a small pinch of Sam Gwit's Snuff Afterglow. That's quite a bit. Yeah, got a little bit in my mouth. That's not good. Never good. It is really hot where I live. Really hot. Now I got the snuff out of my mouth. Or swallowed it, that is. Gotta have your water. Gotta have your water. When it's 90 degrees here. The topic of this video today will be discussing hookahs and why some people think they're used for drugs. Now, the hookah originally, I'm going to tell you right now, its purpose, was originally for tobacco. Hookahs were never originally meant to smoke marijuana. But in the 1960s, let's say, the whole hippie movement came about, and the whole hippie movement involved a lot of drugs, including psychedelics like LSD and medicinal mushrooms and, well, I don't really consider marijuana psychedelic, but marijuana and, hash. So a lot of hippies wanted to find ways to smoke marijuana and or consume marijuana, so they used water pipes. They started with bongs, which are water pipes, and then they finally, they figured out that you could smoke marijuana in hookahs. So after a little while, hookahs were basically fancy bongs. That's what they were. A lot of people thought they were, I hope I'm explaining it the right way. Basically, they started out as being used for tobacco, but then the whole hippie movement came about, and they started using them for pot, and by the time the whole hippie movement died down in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, everyone thought hookahs were used for marijuana. At least in the United States it is. In countries like India and Egypt and Lebanon, where hookahs, where the whole hippie era didn't happen, people still thought they were using tobacco. But by the early 90s, most adults, thought the sole purpose of using a hookah was to smoke marijuana. But then something happened, something in the early 21st century. Someone got an idea, I'm not sure who, to create hookah bars. Now, hookah bars are a place where you go to smoke hookahs in flavored tobacco in the U.S. or in Europe or in Canada or in other places, and they started, how do I explain it? Starting the whole movement of, hookahs are now meant for flavored tobacco, not marijuana, and they really started to make a comeback, and, I'm not sure if they were ever considered illegal paraphernalia, but if they were re-legalized, and people started using them. The problem is, nowadays they're tainted. just like snuff. When people see you do snuff, like this, what are they going to think? You're doing cocaine. But, just like when people see you smoke a hookah, or talk about hookahs, they're going to think, because from their childhood, they're going to remember people smoking marijuana. So, but I can tell you this right now, they're legal in all 50 states, they're legal in Canada, they're legal in England, they're legal in France, Italy, India, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, all of Europe as far as I'm concerned, all of the Middle East, Asia, and pretty much everywhere. So if you're interested in hookahs, I have a couple of videos on hookahs, and watch them. They're really, really interesting. But hookahs are really definitely making a comeback, you know. I hope I explained everything right. I hope no one's confused about, you know, how hookahs became, you know, from being not tainted to being tainted to being acceptable again. And I'm done. That's all I really wanted to say. Hookahs are cool, and they're not for drugs. That's all I can say. So, drugs just bad. Okay? Bye.